Our second speaker is Professor Han from National Taipei University of Technology. So he's an expert on human-computer interface and also different extended reality and multisensory technology, which is exactly the topic of his talk today. So let's welcome Professor Han.
Thank you for the introduction.
Next. Okay, Okay, so today I want to be sharing about multisensory technique and their interaction in XR. So I'm Ping-Hsuan Han, and I'm from NTUT. And my background is a little bit special. I'm Master of Design, Bachelor of Design, but I finally feeling out doing research is fun. I think you guys don't have this kind of problem, right? So I have this kind of problem, so I take the PhD program in the NTU. So that's the reason that I'm standing here. And I'm doing some research about the human-computer interaction, especially about multisensory technology. So I do lots of software, hardware, and also trying to explore different kind of interaction design. So those are the work that I'm showing in the international, like LA Computer Center, Anaheim Computer Center, Tokyo Forum, and those kind of work. I will pick some to sharing to you guys. Yeah. So my first VR work that relating to the haptic feedback, multisensory feedback, is a spider silk. So this project is talking about how we can using the muscle sensor to sensing the signal about like shooting the spider silk, and you can hold the spider silk, and if you pull, you can fly away from the original spot. And at the meantime, that the fin will turning on, so you actually can feel the wind blow with the right direction. And as you see that, in that time I was young, so every project name is so like a junior high school student named the project, like of element is like playing a game sort of element. So after I'm done with the first one, I started to exploring, could we create different kind of haptic, like not only wind blow, but also create a thermal feedback and vibration, motion, and also including the weight sensation. So my first project like influenced me a lot. There's two people. One is Paul, is a Spider-Man animation writer. He told me that he have writing the animation, the Spider-Man animation script for like decades, tens years. But after today, he can actually understand how it will be feel like flying like a Spider-Man. So it's I'm so happy to have this kind of comment, because at the beginning when I'm doing this project, I'm like a little Marvel's fan, so I want to doing that. But there's another lady influenced me a lot, is this lady. So this lady, at the beginning, she is standing in front of our booth, and after like half hour, she's still there. I saw that she was be bullying, so she cannot go into the waiting line. So I asked her, "Oh, do you want to try our demo?" And she said, "No, it's fine. I just want to take a look." And I started to curious, because after 10 minutes, she's still there. In each of the trail of about the demo experience is about like 8 minutes, which means she's seeing our demo about 6 to 7 rounds. So I asked her, why you want to see, I close to her and want to ask a question, why you want to see this so many times? She told me that because their organization want to doing this. I thought, wow, what kind of organization want to doing VR? I thought maybe entertainment company. I thought, oh, probably like a company with an SDG, they need to hire some handicap. I know it is a very terrible thought about that, but actually she told me a very single word that I understand the meaning, but I understand what is the word mean, but I did not really catch at the first moment. She telling me that because in VR, they can feel equality. I think everyone playing VR is for fun, but she staying here because VR can bring the equality to her. It's not about the physical equality, it's about psychology equality. So I thought to think about whether we can doing different kind of technology to bring a new kind of world. So my lab name called eXtending the realities. Yeah, I think for like in this year, I want to change my lab to realities. I want to make more realities. But most of my work talking about not only about technology change, not only about technology improve, and also I want to explore different kind of meaning change. So this kind of term in the design field called design-driven innovation. If you are interested, you can Google that. That is, I super like that term. So we have these different kind of work. So one of the work I want to share to you is AOE's area of element. So this project is trying to explore about whether the people could stay in the environment and stay in the two environment to receive two kind of multisensory feedback simultaneously. Yeah. Could you guess what kind of role playing he is doing? Yeah, Doctor Strange or Star Wars Skywalker. Yeah. So this work can trying to create the cool environment and heat environment simultaneously. So in this work that we receive the Lava Virtual Award. So for the second year, we take our new devices to the Lava Virtual. So this work looks very exciting, but actually this work has so many limitations. One is about the feedback will be decreased by the distance. Every energy-based heat or energy-based feedback or flow-based feedback, the performance will be goes down when the distance is getting far. So we start to explore whether they do have a different kind of solution to fix about this. So in our design environment, in our design department, mostly we're doing a thing called design space. We're trying to put different kind of multimedia work or HCI work in a placement, trying to revealing that what kind of new contribution we can do. So for this one, there are so many kind of haptic trying to enhance the environment, and there are so many kind of haptic to enhance the manipulation. Whether it's different, yeah, that's huge different. Everyone is staying here, but we feel different kind of haptic feedback, right? Different kind of coldness, heatness, also including the humidity. And when you do the manipulation, you don't have to do anything, so the environment can give you the feedback. But when you're doing manipulation, it's I doing something and I receive the feedback. So it's quite huge, quite different. So we combined there's two kind of work together. So we call it multi-tactile feedback, and we created a system called haptic around. So we just mean like when my hand is outside of the stationary haptic feedback system, I still can feel the heat feedback because I'm holding another control-based heat. So with a commentary about visual, auditory, haptic, we can create a better experience about multisensory technology. So the work looks very exciting, looks very cool, but actually there's so many limitations. Probably you guys can guess. One is like, I always put the heat environment at the left and the cold environment on the right. Actually, like our system can create the heat to the right side, but actually the distance will be far because most of the module will put on the left side. The heat module put on the left side. So based on the feedback will be discrete by the distance. Actually, their performance will be lower. And then another is we have so many water tank in our system. So because due to there's different environment, sometimes this environment will cause so many water and this one will not. But everyone wants to stay different kind of environment based on their choices. So the water will be run off by different kind of situation. So we create a new kind of system called AOES Plus. So this one, at the beginning, the first one is like a cylinder. This one is also like cylinder, but it is more flat. So with this, the people can go around and they're still, our system will try to rotate and try to make the module as close as to the user. So this one is another kind of improvement. So this one is purely technology improvement, technology change. And also we're trying to put all the water module together. All the module require the water, so there is a new kind of module here. So we received another award in the Lava Virtual. So based on the idea about the multisensory feedback, we started to explore a very interesting idea about off-flag display. The reason we are doing this because one day I bring my device back to Taiwan, And I just feel like, wow, my device is so stinky because the water inside our devices, I do dump the water, but actually they still have some, so it feels very bad. So I tried to put some perfume in the water, and it feels stinky and smell good, but which is means smell not very good, right? So I just figured out at the beginning I'm doing a haptic system, but actually I can create a reflective display in these cases. So we try to redesign the mechanism about the rotating because each of the water module can handle 2 kilograms of the water. So with 4 there will be 8. So we're trying to design the new kind of bearing system to make sure that it can rotating around. And actually we put 2 fans below the head-mount display because when you walk into the mist will be flow to the right side and left side. So with a fan on each side, they will suck the air into your nose. And we put an air purifier in front of the nose. So after you smell the smell, and then they will be erased by the air purifier. So this is where that we start to explore the reflective display. And also we have another project called Transport. So this one is it possible to eat the jujube and to smell the apple and you feel like eating an apple? Is that possible? Yeah, in our case it's possible. It's feel like that. Yeah, eating a jujube and you smell the apple. So this term called human food interaction, and based on the human food interaction, the more sophisticated term called edible interaction. So they already have so many kind of research project doing this. But the interesting part is currently we cannot see this kind of technology in our real world. Do you know why? Because when we training a chef, they always put the smell, the vision, the visual, the taste together, right? They never separate to giving you for the eating experience. So this is how we do in our project. This project is also interesting because my student telling me that they are not very good at doing programming. I said, what you are very good at? I'm very good at eating. So what you want to do? I want to do cooking. So why? Because he always in the renting house, so she and he cannot doing the cooking. Okay, so what you have other ability that could contribute to the project? They say they can do 3D printing and some kind of visual feedback. And they are very good at this because we buy purchase about 3D bottle about the smelling oil and like 40 kind of food, and then just trying every day to see what is the best experience about the transport. So we're trying to create a recipe for our project. So this one is just purely to improve the rotation. Okay, due to the time I don't want to show this. It just moves much more faster because actually when you see the video, the rotation is so slow. The reason you didn't notice because I just doing some video shooting to make you didn't feel about that part. Yeah. Okay. So this one I want to show. This one is I broke my OS because I promised myself don't to make a device bigger than my shoulder again. And this one is I break my OS. So we're actually building a water tank. You can suck the lower tank water to the upper tank, and then we can try to create different kind of flow because mostly we're doing VR, doing the dry environment, right? But this one we're trying to explore about the wet environment. So this is what we do in our lab. And the interesting about the water is because water can create different kind of multisensory feedback. Because if you give the heat to the water, you can feel the heat. If you get cold, you can feel the cold. It feels like, did you guys see the movie called Matrix? The Neo was staying in the tank and then actually in the VR, but when he waking up, you feel like, oh, they can feel so many kind of multisensory feedback inside the tank. And those are kind of working. Also, you can try to create the weight sensation by the water, and the pressure by the water, and vibration. It'll all be possible. And we try to explore different kind of application for the multisensory feedback because like NTUT are collaborated with the National Taipei Medical University. Taipei Medical Unit, TMU, yeah. So we had close to we had collaborated with the professor with a nursing background. So we had different kind of project with a relaxing VR. And also we're trying to explore different kind of multiverse VR, multiverse. So the multiverse we're talking about is, did you guys see those kind of movies before? Yeah, right? So the multiverse we're talking about is it possible when we doing something in the VR, it could affect back to the physical world? So make examples like when you're holding a Chinese painting stuff, and in the VR you can feel like you can looking like holding a sword or barbecue brush. And for another example, if we holding the bottle like collecting bottle and stand over here, but in the VR we can change it to a different kind of object, different kind of virtual object. And so the work will be like this: when we're doing something in the VR, and actually will affect back to our real world. So after they experience the whole VR, they can create an art piece like this. I know it looks like children doing the drawing, but there will be lots of meaning for the user because we see he doing like very seriously, and then the final result looking like this. Yeah, I know it's hard to understand, but actually when they remove the headset, we were telling that I don't know this thing can create any kind of meaning for us, but actually I see you doing this. It's like a art therapy experience. Yeah. And also we explore different kind of actualities. It's like, is it possible when you do a music performance, we can duplicate a virtual version inside the digital world? So we visualize every performance by the guitar player, drummer, and then trying to create a virtual environment simultaneously. So the user can be online, on-site, or it can be anywhere. So the idea will be like K-pop. Like K-pop want to do is more on-site concert, right? But the VTuber were doing the online concert. But actually they are doing both. They wish to doing both because after you're selling out of the physical ticket, you can still selling the virtual ticket. Yeah. So this is what we show in the last year SIGGRAPH 2023. Yeah, I using this system to propose to my wife last year. Yeah. Propose, kneel down, give the ring. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and we do lots of VR education for the museum education. Yeah, so that's the reason we can do lots of interesting visual feedback. And also in my course, the one thing is very special is about immersive storyteller. We're trying to training the student how to tell a story in the virtual world. I think it's a little bit like opera, yeah, but actually in the virtual world. So we are doing this workshop so many times, and with the recent year, we start using the current version about the storytelling, and then we're trying to using the AI assist tool to make it much more interesting. So after they're done with the 660 video, we can turn it back to the any AI generate service and trying to make the communication between the artist and director more influentially. So that will be more imagination, yeah, very helpful to making a VR storytelling. And also, yeah, I started to collaborate with Ping-Hsuan Han University last year because I want to do more exercise I want to do much more exercise because I always have the excuse, I need to go to meeting, I need to go to blah, 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 blah. So I didn't go to exercise. But I thought if I'm doing a project that related to exercise, I had no excuse because after 1 year in your job or university, you're still a fatty guy, which is mean you didn't using your technology, which is mean your technology is not useful, right? So I started doing the VR. I know I'm still look very fat, but actually I lose my weight about 8 kilograms. Yeah, I start slowly because I still have lots of meeting. Yeah. So the project, oh shit. So this one called Mobile Bag is when you're doing the boxing, you can actually have an encounter type haptic. So we make a movable robot to do like a substitution robot. So when you were wearing a VR headset, you're seeing the user, you're seeing the opponents in front of you, and there is a target, so you can punch him. And actually you can feel the feedback. So we are demonstrating the Korean, the French, also in Japan last year, so many times, and we receive different kind of feedback to do the interactive design and we revise our system. So yeah, this is just some news for international and domestic. And yeah, we had those so many times to retrieve, to occurring some feedback to improve our system. And also, this is my first time to occurring like 10,000 of data, and we're trying to analyze the data about what is the maximum speed in Taiwan, the punching speed, average speed in Taiwan. So I'm seriously trying to figure out how we can writing this kind of research paper. But actually, to our system, yeah, when you're doing our VR boxing just in the 1 minute, you actually can feel the stress release and can feel the very delightful, and you actually feel very exhausted, the tiredness. Yeah. So we have received so many data and trying to do the boxing data visualizer and still working on it. It's a working process. And finally, what we are doing my research, we want to explore different kind of multisensory. I think it's very interesting. Like after I'm done with the multisensory technique, I just more understanding about myself. Yeah, it's like 觉知, 直觉. Okay, so and there's another thing very interesting called multi-display. I think in the English word, the display is not only about the LED screen, projecting screen. There could be haptic display or fractal display. So we're trying to explore different kind of display and trying to put different kind of user together. So there's what we do, the extending reality. In the multiverse, we want to change their perception, to change their understanding. Because in the like 50 years ago, mostly they're using VR for exploration therapy. And I think there will be very huge potential, the benefit that VR, not only VR, XR, AR can do. But the most important thing, if we want to make them change their perception, we need to have more understanding about the human factor. Yeah. So this is my talk. Thank you.
So thank you so much for the talk. Do we have any questions? I think listening to the talk, only 2 words came to mind, throughout the talk, right? So cool, right? Everything is so cool. It seems like Professor Han is doing like imagination for a living, and trying to realize the imagination.
Yeah, most of the work I've done when I watch a movie and say, oh, this one cool, I want to create this one. Ever done like this animation cool, I want to do this one. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So, I had several questions, but it's just the material you presented, continue to present is so one is more amazing than the other. So I
apologize speaking so fast because I thought
at the end I really didn't know what to ask anymore because everything is just so interesting.
Yeah, I will keep my slides, so if anyone wants to have a further look for each video, that will be fine.
Yeah. I think for our center, we're also interested in like connecting this virtual worlds on 2 sides, right?
Yeah.
So let's suppose that you want to do telecommunication with somebody on the other side of the world, and you want to reconstruct the environment here. I think all your like haptic environment devices.
We do. I didn't mention that we do have a project collaborated with National Taiwan University Hospital, National Taipei 台大医院. Yeah. So we want to like design a combination tool for the doctor because they're always busy, right? So if we want to reunion all the guys to the physical meeting room, it's so hard. So is it possible like showing those are the 3D graph about the organ to like make the communication? We can design different kind of feature and tool to make the communication more influence. Yeah, that is also we are exploring, like just start from this year. So I didn't show something that, but I think this will be very huge potential to make the communication inside the VR. I think it will be the future. Yeah, it will be the future.
这个互动设计是属于这个your department，
Yeah.
是互动设计是艺术，还是 computer science， 还是？
其实HCI 是 computer science. Yeah. So, the HCI term is computer science. Yeah. But actually, like interaction design is like I won't say
engineering.
it's like creative engineering. They are like creative engineering. They are not trying to enhance the performance to make the structure better. They just want revealing that the connection between the human and devices.
Because of design, mechanical design, science or art.
Yeah.
This is Simpson. It's a very wide range.
Yeah.
Like as a STD, Singapore has a university, Singapore University of Technology and Design.
Yeah, they had similar kind
That's a university, but yours is one department. You almost cover there everything.
I think they're
这个名字看起来好像是很大很大的系，比较没有一个 focus。就是我 my feeling。
Yeah, it's
因为
true.
新加坡那个是一个大学。
Yeah, so I won't say it's like a downscale version.
Right.
So in our department, there's lots of professors related to the digital art, new media art, and some with architecture because the design they go back to the architecture. And then there's a few professor expertise about computer science also. Yeah, I think I am the only guy doing hardware in our department. Yeah.
Well, you need to have imagination, everyday imagination.
Yeah, I enjoy my life. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like I think that that's like.
I hope you enjoy it. Hope you like it.
这个好像是你的 life， 每天的 life， 也就是你看 TV， 看 YouTube 也是都是这些东西。
是。
哇，你这个 job 是 perfect。
谢谢。
我们看可不可以抱团去参观你的事？
可以啊。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very interesting, but I don't know what to do. I have no imagination. So many.
We have another question.
我问一个比较跳的问题，
没关系。
就是老师有看过《一级玩家》这部电影吗？
对，有。
还有《一级玩家》跟《刀剑神域》那个。是。就是现在这个 VR 蓬勃发展，就是我们人类有没有真的可能可以达到那样的就是科技，可以让人类真的在一个游戏世界里面，真的就是身临其境的感觉，在里面就是玩。对。
我觉得这个问题问的还蛮有趣的。其实我有另外一份投影简报，就是怎么讲啊？就是如果1万块钱，在可能我这个年纪以上的都会觉得可以买很多实体物体，可以吃很开心，可以买包包送太太或什么等等之类的。可是我知道在你们这个年代是可以花1万块买 skin 的，就是你可以买很多，就逢年过节了都帮你的新角色买一个 skin。圣诞节才刚过就要来买新春装，对啊，就是玩 LOL 的时候都会一直买 new skin， 一直买 skin， 一直买 skin。那你说我们这个年代的人可不可以接受这样？我觉得我不会去想象我们会接受，但是确实所谓的数位原住民啊，他们出生的时候就已经有网络，网络上都有梗图嘛，就是很多小朋友看到会动的荧幕都以为有 multitask， 都可以做那个多点触控这样子。所以你问我说科技会不会达到？我觉得与其说科技会渐渐达到，但是我觉得那 matching point 不是因为科技达到，而是其实你们的认知啊是可以接受的。所以以前我记得在 computer vision 里面啊，很常都会说，这张图你觉得是一扇窗，还是一个数位的画面这样子？以前我觉得这就是那个 accommodation 啊，所以这个人眼的双眼视觉，你一定会觉得这是平面图。可是我觉得在你们这个年代，可能会觉得那个就是遥远的地方 的摇线而已。所以我觉得那件事情不是一个 technology 到那个地方，而是你们的认知就是会跟他，我觉得也不是高低，我觉得就是一个这样一个 match 点这样子。你会花多少钱买 skin？ 是不是逢年过节？
年轻的时候。
年轻的时候，长大。可是说真的，因为我觉得这样也是好事，因为你知道他们上面都写很多软体，然后台湾人都没有付这个软体费用的习惯。然后其实当我有钱付的时候，我是会付啦，像 Adobe 或什么我都会付，啊，所以你也会开始养成付软体、付虚拟资产的习惯之后，我觉得对我们整个产业是蓬勃发展了，啊，我想象。这问题问得蛮好的。
好，那我想因为时间的关系，我们就再谢谢他。